Welcome back, everyone. Now we want to turn your attention to something that's creeping into our homes and to the minds of our children. Sometimes if you are a parent, you might not even be aware of. In today's day and age, smartphones, Facebook, Twitter and whatnot, children today spend more time online than actually engaging face-to-face. The World Wide Web is indeed something good, but lurking in the dark corners are issues that still needs a lot of discussions. I'm talking about cyberbullying, which is now reported from all corners of the world. Here in our Paradise Island, the issue is the same, as cyberbullying has become a problem that is far more than only a minor issue that we can just brush off. This menace has ended up with children and teens isolating themselves from the society or even leading to suicide. However, all is not lost. A Sri Lankan NGO foundation, Voice, started to fight against cyberbullying in Sri Lanka by going against the offenders, supporting the victims and spreading awareness across the public. Tonight, we at Other Derana wants to shed more light on this issue. Just keep in mind, the people appearing on this piece sharing their personal stories are a reenactment. However, the stories they tell is indeed the truth. Other Derana Swan Mock picks up the story for us tonight.
I was really embarrassed. I couldn't face my family. I couldn't face my friends. I got depressed. I was really anxious, and I even thought of killing myself.
Several cases of cyberbullying happen every day in Sri Lanka, leading to instances where predominantly children and teens struggle under depression and anti-socialization. There are also reported cases of suicide.
I don't know, I lost my friends at school. I started to be afraid to go there.
We have started three main campaigns for this awareness. Number one is we are going to do an island-wide survey on social media to identify which kind of age groups and what kind of awareness they have about social media. We are planning an island-wide walk which will be coming on August 19 this year to bring awareness among parents with relates to cyber safety. And also we are planning to do a vast awareness programs on school level basis among younger children of how to handle social media.
People at work hacked into my account. They posted various inappropriate pictures on my account. I was bullied as a homosexual. Sometimes I called myself sick at work. It was very bad. I was afraid to tell my family because they will not understand, and I couldn't speak about this issue.
Although there are organizations fighting against cyberbullying, there's no law in Sri Lanka against such crimes, making it hard to catch the offenders. Lack of laws against cyberbullying, as well as the difficulty to identify offenders, is the biggest obstacle in dealing with the problem.
Well, there is a Cyber Crimes Act, but not really relating to cyberbullying as well. So maybe this is a part of law that needs to be amended. India had a IT Act which specifically deals with cyberbullying. Sri Lanka can also have a specific law towards cyberbullying. One of the problems that actually come up are when the investigation is done. So they find the IP address, but they need to get the telephone numbers from the telecommunication providers. So there are certain providers who actually do give the information and certain providers who refuse to give the information. So at that point, the investigation stops.
Experts see the first step to preventing cyberbullying as safe engagement in social media and awareness on the right use of social media platforms.
I think as young parents, our biggest responsibility is to bring awareness to our kids about what cybermobbing is and how dangerous it could be. Also, the next thing I would say is continuous communication with your kids, why you are saying what you are saying, so that your kids begin to recognize that this is something dangerous. I believe if the parents begin to step up, we can begin to prevent our kids from falling prey to this nasty thing that is taking place right around our country and in the nations.
Well, let's get more in-depth analysis of this story. Joining me now is Shahani Alvi. She is an attorney at law. Shahani, you just saw in that piece where people are talking about issues, saying that they've been bullied, cyberbullied, and they've been saying that they felt very lonely. Now, why is Sri Lanka not catching up with its laws in order to curtail culprits of these crimes?
Well, actually, when there's cyberbullying or any sort of disreputation brought to someone, that falls under the law of defamation. Under the Sri Lankan law, sadly, the law pertaining to defamation is not codified. So it is the common law which applies, that is case law and precedent. However, the law with regard to defamation, what it requires is there must be some sort of action which injures the person's reputation, which can bring that person to either hatred or disrepute among the people. So in that case, it is important that the ingredients of a defamation be established to bring an action in any case of cyberbullying. However, the law with regard to the internet publications also is the same defamatory law which applies. That is the general defamatory law.
Exactly. Now, something that we have been seeing in the recent times is that, you know, a lot of people, not only teenagers and school children, but a lot of people, even celebrities here in Sri Lanka, especially politicians, being attacked, vigorously online, and yet they cannot do anything about it. So, what can a person who is being cyberbullied can do right now?
Well, actually, it's not that they can't do anything about it. They can neatly file an action for defamation to claim their rights, to claim damages which has occurred to them. However, the problem with regard to defamation action in Sri Lanka is it has still not been decided. We still don't have cases which have come up to develop the law in that area. So either there needs to be some codification, but we have enough and more laws regulating the publication in papers. But with regard to internet publications, what is important is to bring an action against primary publishers, that means who publish on Facebook, who defame on Facebook, and also you can bring actions against secondary publishers, those who even share those publications, and also anyone who reposts a publication, a YouTube video, we can bring an action. However, the problem is that there is no law which is, since it's common law which applies, the law needs to, we need to look into this matter, and we need to have case law. A strong set of case law will enable anyone who's being bullied like this or who's being defamed online on media to be brought before a judge and to claim their rights and to claim damages for the loss which has occurred to them.
Certainly, indeed, there's so much of things that needs to be done in order to bring Sri Lanka up to date with regard to our laws, with regard to cyberbullying and other cyber crimes. Well, Shehani, always, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much for joining us. It's indeed a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.